time to get some history into our ears. And, of course, we do that with Harold Peacock, who, of course, joins us on the line today. How are you, mate?
Oh, very well, thanks, Damo. Yeah, you sent me on assignment, so I'm calling from on-site. So apologies for all the birds and things in the background if they come up.
Well, that's all right. It makes it nice. Then it makes it more sort of real, doesn't it?
All the magic of radio, that's right.
Yeah. Now, mate, we're going back in time to 1864.
That's right. Look, I've come to Rockhampton on the trail of a woman, as you know, who fled Toowoomba in 1864 following trouble over a woman.
Oh, okay.
A man who fled Toowoomba over trouble with a woman. So, look, in July 1864, Henry Dagg was in Toowoomba charged with manslaughter. Now, staring down at him from the bench of the Supreme Court criminal sitting in Toowoomba was Justice Alfred Lutwich, who was the first judge of Queensland's Supreme Court. And if not for a lack of self-restraint in some of his judgments, Lutwich would have been the first Chief Justice of Queensland.
Right.
Now, prosecuting Dagg was Ratcliffe Pring, who was a lawyer, politician, and Queensland's first Attorney General. And he felt certain that he could prove that homicide had been committed by Dagg.
Ooh.
Now, defending Dagg was another lawyer and politician, Charles Blakeney. He was a son of a Church of England minister and grandson of an Archbishop and Primate of Ireland. So he had a liking for justice. Now, shortly after this case, he would actually be appointed the first judge in Queensland's Western District Court. So that all the big names were assembled here for this case in Toowoomba.
Right.
Now, a few weeks earlier, Dagg had been in the Fitzroy Hotel in Roma. This was at the time, it was a big new shingled roof hotel. The owner and licensee was Mr. Thomas Reid, who just a couple of years earlier was a storekeeper in Dalby when his young wife died and left him with the 3 children.
Oh.
8 weeks later, he was married again, though, sold up and left town to go into the hotel business in Roma. Now, Dagg and a man by the name of Arthur Hall were in that Fitzroy Hotel at Roma when some jealousy arose between them in respect to a servant girl there. Now, Dagg went outside and threw a sardine can back at Hall.
Oh.
He then upped the ante and threw a bottle,
No.
which struck him rather forcibly on the head and actually fractured his skull.
Oh.
You look, Hall lingered for 2 days before passing away. So our man Dagg appeared certain to face a long term in jail because there were 2 eyewitnesses.
Right.
They were 2 German immigrants, Frederick Grossman and William Schaefer, both of whom swore that they saw Dagg throw the bottle. Now, Dagg's defence attorney, Blakeney, had a cover day. You see, he carefully explained to the jury that the witnesses' testimony could not be relied upon because they were mates and were German. And that was the decisive factor because the jury retired for just a minute or two and then returned a verdict of not guilty.
Oh.
Now, the judge, Justice Lutwich, was shocked and he told Dagg as much. The judge advised him to be very careful throwing bottles in future because his escape this time had been a very narrow one. Now, Dagg took the warning to heart and left the Toowoomba district as quickly as he could. In fact, he pretty much vanished off the face of the earth. However, Damo, I've tracked him down to here in Rockhampton, where he lived out his days in total obscurity. And he died alone with £755 or $300,000 to his name.
Wow.
Now, the widow, who I think was his landlady, who Dagg appointed to be executor of his estate, she didn't see fit to even erect a headstone because I've found Dagg's last resting place here in Rockhampton, and sadly, it's an unmarked grave.
Oh.
So, Damo, this is the age-old story of 2 men drinking at a pub on the Darling Downs. They quarrelled over a woman, and one man killed the other by fracturing his skull with a bottle. It happens.
Well, it does.
It
Probably
certainly did 170 years ago.
Probably still happening today. What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah, well, in this case, it ended here in the South Rockhampton Cemetery, and I'm looking at it right now. You send me on assignment, I follow these stories to the bitter end.
Mate, you certainly do, and you're doing it right from the gravesite there. So, mate, always a good story. Now, you're going to post this online?
Absolutely. I'll post it on Friday morning on History outthere.com. That's my website with, it's about 500 short stories. And, Damo, we got like 54 short stories just in the Darling Downs and so on now.
It's great, isn't it? And, of course, that's the beauty. People can go and read these stories again and again and again.
That's right. And there's photos and stuff there which radio can't do, but gee, the magic of radio. I'm here on site. The crows are in the background. It's a beautiful morning.
It certainly is.
And I've solved a mystery where the guy disappeared to.
There you go. We now know where he went to after that infamous fight in the pub. Mate, thank you so much for that. That was a great yarn.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to next week. Just wait till I'll tell you that.
All right. I look forward to it, mate. You take care. There he is, Harold Peacock. HistoryOutThere.com is where you can read that story and many others as we take a look at history each Tuesday morning here on The Brekkie Show.